That high-stakes meeting between former President Donald Trump and President Vladimir Putin up in Alaska.
Yeah.
This wasn't just, another diplomatic photo op. It was loaded with anticipation, a lot of controversy, and pretty profound implications.
Absolutely. The sheer visual impact. I mean, these two leaders meeting on U.S. soil like that under these circumstances, it just sent ripples everywhere instantly. It went way beyond routine diplomacy. It felt charged with this intense symbolism, especially, with the ongoing war in Ukraine as the backdrop.
Definitely.
What's really fascinating, I think, is how the world reacted, how those optics were so carefully managed, or maybe not so carefully managed in some cases, and what messages were being sent deliberately or, well, maybe not.
We need to set the scene first. What were the expectations, especially from the U.S. side, going into this?
Right.
He laid out what were maybe optimistically called the big wins for the U.S.
The hopes.
Yeah, the hopes. Things like securing a trilateral meeting, bringing in Ukrainian President Zelensky. That would have been a clear sign of U.S. commitment, or maybe even more ambitiously, getting an unconditional ceasefire.
Big goals, very big.
Those were the lofty goals, exactly. But almost immediately, you had this glaring point of tension surface, deep nervousness from Ukraine about any talk of land swaps.
Understandably.
For them, giving up territory, especially land that's occupied, just a non-starter, completely off the table.
And this immediately flags a crucial conflict, doesn't it? Heading into such a sensitive meeting. From Putin's angle, his strategy was likely, designed to leverage any ambiguity there. His goal, as lots of analysts saw it, was probably to spin Trump, kind of nudge the American president closer to Russian positions. Particularly on things like those land swaps, right? Where Russia really wants to legitimize its territorial gains. So for Trump, the challenge was huge. Avoid getting spun, show some discipline, as the source put it.
And the source pointed out a direct contradiction, didn't it?
It did, and this stood out even before the meeting. On the flight to Alaska, Trump apparently said he would not negotiate on behalf of Ukraine, flat out.
Okay.
But just a week before that, he was openly talking about land swaps. So this back and forth, this shifting stance, it kind of created an opening for Putin, didn't it?
Yeah, it really begs the question. Which Donald Trump is now walking towards this meeting with Vladimir Putin? Which approach is he actually bringing?
Exactly. That inconsistency made Trump's need for a clear message absolutely critical.
So the actual arrival was pretty dramatic, wasn't it? Almost theatrical, the way the visuals played out.
Oh, very much so.
Initial pictures showed Trump with this stern walk up to the red carpet. He was scowling, looked quite serious, maybe projecting disapproval.
Yeah, a bit forbidding.
But then, almost instantly, it dissolved. You got this completely different scene, a warm greeting, big smiles, a really hearty handshake.
Right.
And maybe most surprisingly, the commentary in our source noted Trump actually clapped as Putin walked up to him.
Clapped, yeah, that was notable.
That quick shift from stern to suddenly very warm, it was striking, almost like flipping a switch for the cameras, maybe.
Could be. Here you have the red carpet being rolled up for Vladimir Putin in the U.S. And it's a jarring image because the reality is, in 123 other countries...
The ICC signatories.
Exactly. The signatories of the International Criminal Court Convention, this man would be arrested as soon as he lands.
Right. He's been indicted.
He's been indicted by the ICC for war crimes. He simply would not be welcomed pretty much anywhere else in the Western world with that kind of red carpet treatment. So that gesture, it lent a kind of legitimacy that really flies in the face of international law.
And it didn't stop at the carpet, did it?
Right.
The encounter went even further into, extraordinary territory.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole scene with the beast, the presidential limo, any U.S. president getting into that car with any foreign leader is exceptionally rare.
It's a symbol, right, of security sovereignty.
Exactly. It's almost never shared.
Yeah.
It's very rare, even for our closest democratic allies, let alone for a figure like Putin.
And the source commentary described him how?
Didn't pull any punches, called him this imperial, a former KGB leader, and then drew that powerful comparison saying he's the first guy since Hitler to launch a full-scale invasion and occupation in Europe.
So then they arrive at the formal meeting spot. And the press is there, of course. Cameras, mics, shouting questions, trying to get anything right.
The scrum.
And these weren't softballs. Journalists were direct. President Putin, will you agree to a ceasefire? Mr. President, what's your message to Vladimir Putin?
Tough questions. Necessary questions.
And more pointed ones, too. Mr. Putin, did you underestimate Ukraine? And President Putin, will you stop killing civilians? And finally, that challenge. How can the U.S. trust your words?
And Putin's reaction.
According to the commentary.
Yeah.
You just kind of shrug. That's it. All those urgent questions met with basically a shrug.
You know, that scene, the journalist shouting those direct, unfiltered questions, it instantly highlighted a stark contrast that the commentary really emphasized.
Which is?
That Putin isn't typically faced with those kinds of questions. I mean, that's the fundamental difference, isn't it? Between a free press in a democracy and the kind of controlled media environment you see in Russia.